Okay, class is in session. This is the Wendy Adelson case. This is her cross-examination. I want to go over this because I've been using criminal cases to help men in relationships and have better relationships. So when I saw this, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to once again show how the skillfulness of women when they argue and why you shouldn't argue with them because that's how skilled they are. And I'll show you, just show you some tactics that they use when they argue. And this is in an formal environment, not out on the streets where that's kind of informal. You have to follow rules in this one. If you're just having a discussion with your wife, girlfriend, or whatever, there's no rules really, But there are rules actually. It's just that we don't, again, I was kind of being facetious, but we don't voice what the rules are, right? When talking to each other, who has frame, who has dominance. Well, it's decided during the conversation, right? Anyway, I won't make this too long, but but I also want to point out areas of where she was disrespecting Dan Markel, who was killed by a hitman hired by her mom and her brother, it looks like. I mean, they were convicted of it. Now, she has not been convicted of anything. She has not been charged with anything, but is there... is there circumstantial evidence that she knew? She knew about it. At minimum, she knew about it, and didn't do anything to stop it. So, in a way, I mean, but, that's up to them. But let's cover this video. This is her cross-examination. And I'm just going to, show you things that you can do better at, and show you areas where I'm like, oh, that's going to be something good, and I'll point it out, all right? But the main thing is how women argue or whatever, watch for gaslighting, watch for reframing, watch for deflecting, and we'll go from there. Let's go back here.
All right, thank you. Cross-examination?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ms. Adelson?
This is all about you, isn't it?
I like this defense. He's good.
This is all about you, right?
I was called to be a witness and I'm testifying, so...
Okay, so what right there, reframing. So if you're arguing with, if you get into an argument with her, she's going to reframe it. Well, he said it's all about you. She could have just said yes, right? It actually is all about her. The fact that, and this is a trial of actually Katie McBanawa, who basically had her baby daddy and his friend be the hitman, and she was the middleman for the money. So anyway, I know it's a little complicated, but this is Katie McBanawa's trial, and Wendy Adelson is testifying in this trial. Now, but this all goes back to Dan Markel would not have been murdered had Wendy been able to have a good relationship with him and not gotten divorced and not had this contentious divorce and, and getting everybody all spun up. It is all about her. Had she had a good marriage, no one would be here. Nobody would be in this courtroom. But because her marriage failed, because she had a very dysfunctional marriage, because she's a dysfunctional person, as far as, the way she treats people, the way I've seen it, yeah, we're here. Yeah, so it is all about her, absolutely. But that sounds bad, so she changed it. I was called to come to court. Okay.
Understand the question. Is it a question?
And by the way, she's a lawyer too, so, and it's 4.0 grade point average. I mean, she's super smart. So, so she's gonna go toe to toe with this lawyer. I like this lawyer though. He's good.
This courtroom, right?
There are people in the courtroom.
Possibly thousands watching, right?
I have no idea who's watching.
You see that though?
Because of your...
She has, no idea who's watching. I mean, once again, she could agree or she could be, contraire mon frere. That is resistance. Okay? We're pointing out this is a formal environment, but if you were in an argument, once again, watch for those things, right?
Marriage, right?
I disagree with that.
You disagree that your ex-husband is dead because of your family.
Yes, I disagree.
These jurors are...
Okay, so to win the argument, she's just patently going to I don't want to say lie, but how does she not disagree? Dan Markel's dead because of her family. Yes, absolutely. And she just said she disagrees.
For weeks
to win the
doing
argument.
civic duty because of your marriage, right?
No.
Katie's going
Absolutely, yes.
this ordeal
Yes.
because of that marriage, right?
No.
Dan
Yeah.
Markel's parents are going through absolute misery because of your failed marriage. Isn't that right?
No, that's incorrect.
Well, let's talk about the marriage.
Well, I mean, she, you know, and that's the
You
thing.
profess-
That's the thing, and especially with a sociopath, I believe, like her. This is my not a psychologist. It's, you know, layman trying to do a psych degree, but not a psychologist. But you know, she's not going to agree with you. She's not going to give you any, you know. And this is what a wife that is kind of checked out on you. This is what she'll do when she argues, right? She's not going to come to your side at all. That's what she's doing. Not going to give an inch.
Kel, you met when you were in law school. You told that to Miss Gaffney. It was a whirlwind romance, right? Right?
It was not a whirlwind romance, no.
It led to a wedding, February 26th of 2006. You had a big wedding in Boca Raton, right?
Did we get married on February 20th?
I see, once again, look at that one. Reframed it, and that's right in your face. That's a dominance move. And the cross-examiner, you know, since he's, you know, they're made to battle. You know what I'm saying? But if this was an informal argument between you, I'm just looking at it, you know, so we can have a teaching moment between, like, you know, why you wouldn't argue. But if you do argue, these are things that are going to happen. This is why you don't argue, once again. That's a reframing. You know, she just said, did we have a wedding? He said what he described it by, you know, just totally differently.
2006, is that the question? Yes,
In Boca Raton.
in Boca Raton, Florida.
And it wasn't a small wedding. It was a big wedding.
There were many people in attendance.
They're right there, reframing
Miss
again.
Marriage.
That was a big wedding. There were many people. You see what she's doing? These are dominance moves. See, whenever we're talking, whenever we're communicating with people, somebody's in charge, okay? And women know this. A lot of times men don't realize it. When you're having a conversation, you know, the person asking the question is the one that's the dominant person in a conversation. And it's not like, oh, I'm dominant over you, but no, it's, I'm asking questions, you're responding to my questions, I'm leading you, right? So anyway, let's go.
The two children, right? Your two boys.
Are you asking me if I have two boys?
Yes.
Yes.
And Professor Markel, he was a great father, wasn't
He was a very good father, yes.
he?
She changed it. I mean, again, once again, she's not going to take your. I mean, that's it. These are dominance moves. He was a great father, very good. She changed it. I mean, she's not going to use your wording. She's showing you I'm defiant. And when a woman does that, you have to, you know, resistance is basically disrespect. You know. Sorry. Oh, okay. All right, let's keep going.
Boys were his world, right?
As well as his work, yes.
So right there, and look at that disrespect. Now, this is not about cross-examination, but look at the hatred and disrespect. This man was murdered in his garage, and she used to live at the house with him. And I'm having to be a little intense here, because I was really into this case, and I remember hearing that. I mean, the guy died at the hand of your mother, Donna Adelson, who's a shrew, and your brother. I mean, and he said, like, worked hard, but the point, and as well as his work. I mean, unbelievable. Even in death, the guy can't get a break. I'm serious. That is disrespect. That is absolute hatred right there.
And they adored him too, didn't they?
Absolutely.
No,
Now-
finally.
This marriage started to fall apart, right?
It did.
But there were problems from the very beginning, weren't there? Right?
Are you asking me, what is the very beginning?
Okay, so, and this is, I mean, good thing. Wendy's skilled. She's a lawyer. She's actually a law professor, and I mean, super brilliant. And that's why she's able to go toe to toe with this guy, and not look dumb. A lot of times, you're gonna go toe to toe with the lawyer, especially on cross examination. They're gonna make you look dumb, but a cross examination like this lawyer here, he's prepared for this for hours. He's studied these notes and the case, and when he has a specific direction he wants his cross-examination to go, and it's still going in the way he wants it to. Just because your witness isn't cooperating, it doesn't mean it's not going the way you want it to, right? like I said, cross examination, they ask leading questions. They ask yes or no questions. They don't want an answer that they don't know how you're going to answer. He knows kind of how she's going to answer these things. So it's not, she's coming back, but she's not going to affect his plan. He's got a very specific, methodical plan in place. All right.
When we got married,
Literally at the wedding.
there were problems before we got married.
So once
So
again,
at the wedding.
reframing the argument. There are problems, and again, disrespect. I mean, her ex-husband, I'm being serious. Can she not give the guy a break? I mean, that marriage is, he was murdered. And you can't even give him a pass when he's in his grave. The problem before the marriage. I mean, it just, and again, don't be negative, because just look at that. It looks so crappy. It looks so petty. And the guy's not even there to defend himself. He was buried.
The government asked you about kosher law, right?
About what, I'm sorry?
Keeping kosher,
About keeping kosher, yes.
right?
The government-
In your wedding, at your wedding was the groom's family, the Markel family, and they are more strict than your family and friends about keeping kosher.
They do not keep kosher.
Okay, once again, he knows the answer, and I think she's lying here or being deceptive. So again, going back at him.
Wasn't that one of the problems in your marriage, that Professor Markel was very insistent about keeping kosher?
About his kosher rules, but those are different than his family's.
So you're saying that it wasn't a problem at the wedding, that there were people...
Exactly. She's reframed it. He's doing a great job. He's bringing it back to what he's gonna. You're not escaping my question. And if you are gonna argue with the woman, or you stay on your question. Don't run and chase the argument. So that was
From the
good.
groom's side of the family that were there, that strictly keep kosher, that they were told that it was going to be kosher food, but it actually wasn't.
So there was a misunderstanding about whether the food was going to be kosher style or more in adherence with kosher law. There was a miscommunication about that.
Okay, so this is big though. Now this is not about arguing. It is disrespect. See, Dan Markel right here should have known. It's done. This is huge. This is if a woman really loves you and is getting married to you and is down for you, and you're her champion, which you should be in a woman's life, then she's not going to, pull a stunt like this. She's going to make sure it's up to your standards, kosher, she pulled a fast one and really disrespected him. He was pissed. He should have ended the relationship right there, and he would have been alive today. And I'm serious. This is what I say in my other content is you have to know when you're being disrespected. You have to know when she's clowning on you. You have to know when she's being passive aggressive. You have to know when she's taking dominance. Just like in this right here, but when your wife's doing it or your girlfriend's doing it, she's losing respect for you and you're in a dangerous situation. And
People that strictly keep kosher eating non-kosher food, which is a big deal.
That actually is not what happened. Danny was upset that it was kosher style and not
doesn't matter.
strictly adhering to kosher
Exactly.
law. So
He's
he was
upset.
disappointed.
Exactly. That's a huge problem at his wedding that you caused. It's huge. And she's poo-pooing it. And he's passed away. She should be, this should make her emotional. And by the way, there's no tears here. Her husband
So
just
there's
died.
problems right from the beginning.
That was a problem at our wedding. Yeah.
Yeah, and she changes it
Fast
again.
forward now to September 10th, 2012. Professor Markel, he's away on a business trip, right?
Yes,
He's in New York City at New York University, right?
I believe so, yes.
And he's doing a presentation.
I don't know what he was doing.
Come on, she does. But you know what I mean?
Your husband at the time was in New York to give a presentation. You knew that, right?
I knew he was in New York. I didn't know if he was attending a conference or giving a presentation, but he was in New York for work.
Now, you had not communicated with him for 2 days.
The silent treatment. That's a cold hearted. I don't want to put too much, but that's cold hearted. That's a woman that's checked out and don't give two F's.
Remember?
You text him at around 2:30 in the afternoon,
Mhm.
right before he's about to do the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't remember.
Well,
But you do remember dropping the bomb on him, don't you? Telling him that you wanted a divorce.
So I did not drop a bomb on
See,
him.
once again, that's so funny. And I actually, I mean, this may be too, I actually think she likes this lawyer. The women love. See, she doesn't get challenged like this a lot. I think she's digging on it. I really do. I do. I mean, this goes back to the bad boy guys being that, be willing to challenge her,
We'd been in therapy for several months before.
But check this and that, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter that you left divorce papers on the bed of a house you moved out of, that you secretly moved out of, and you took the opportunity now, while he's out of town, as he's landing in New York from Florida, to tell him you're getting divorced. That's dropping a bomb. And that's diabolical, yes.
And where I told him several times I want the divorce.
You say it's not a bomb, but you agree with me that he begged you to reconsider.
He was very.
And once again, this goes back to learning relationships. That's a problem. Okay, we talk about, in a lot of my content, I talk about off-ramps, right? Off-ramps to his murder. He's on the highway to his murder, let's just say. And again, we honor Dan Markel, super brilliant man, Harvard guy, a super nice guy, very strong in his Jewish faith. I mean, just a great guy, a great, great guy. It's 100% super dad. But it goes to show you, women don't see and don't respect, don't receive respect and appreciation the same way, men do, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, but Dan, he should have seen this. You begging to be begged, that you never beg. When a woman has pulled this maneuver, you run out. You know what I'm saying? Not run, but you know what I'm saying? You go. There's a woman saying that she doesn't want you no more. No, begging's not going to work, and it didn't work. And let's just say she did, okay. Dude, you're batting with a, wiffle ball bat, in a major league game. That's not good.
And yes, wanted me to reconsider, but.
In that phone call, he's begging you to reconsider. Please don't break up our
never beg. He was, please don't break up our marriage. Oh, hell, break up your marriage. If she's pulled this shit, oh yeah, never do this.
Right?
He was very upset, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he was heartbroken. I mean, upset indicates that there was anger. What he was heartbroken. Right?
Yes.
That I decided to divorce him after telling him I would, yes.
I mean, look at that. Look at the calculation. No feeling. Did this woman not know he was going to be murdered? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Look at that. Stone cold face. I mean, Dan Markel hadn't been dead very long. She don't give a damn.
Being at NYU for a presentation, he rushes home. He gets on the next flight. Right?
I honestly don't remember if he got on the next flight.
Oh, come on.
2:30, he finds out in New York. By 11 p.m., he's walking in the door to your old house at Trescott Drive, right?
I don't know.
But you do know that when he walks in the house, what he finds. You know that, right?
Yes, I left him the papers.
You left the divorce papers on the bed, right?
Yes.
Half the furniture was gone.
Half the furniture was not gone.
A good amount of his stuff was gone.
Nothing of his was gone.
The boys' stuff was gone, right?
Some of the boys' things were gone. I'd taken enough so that I had for the boys, but no.
You were gone.
I was gone, yes.
And so were his boys.
His boys were not gone. He saw them the next day, and they would not have.
Yeah, but he had to go meet her somewhere, and she wouldn't tell him where she was living. Just total disrespect. And like I said, you gotta know when you're disrespected.
If he's coming home at 11 p.m.
Look, let's stay on topic here. When he walks in the door, the boys are not in the house, right?
Correct.
And you did not tell Professor Markel where you were taking the boys. He may have seen them the next day, but you did not let him know where you were going to be staying.
Right.
His boys.
With our boys?
Well, look at that. Reframe the argument. Yep. That's a dominance move right there. And remember that when women do this.
So you agree with me that they're also his.
Of course they're his.
And he should be entitled to know where his wife is taking his children.
Absolutely.
That's not all you took, is it?
Excuse me?
You two had a joint checking account at Schwab, right?
We did.
And you went into that account before you dropped the bomb.
Yeah, right here. And this is a divorce lesson right here. What does she do? And I've seen this in other cases. She goes to the account and takes out a bunch of money. because Mr. Markel did not know she was going to divorce him right now, so she's got the upper hand. That's why I say you're in danger when your wife's been disrespecting you, your marriage is on the rocks, and you're not taking action. She's gonna do this numbers, taking all your money out of your bank accounts. I'm saying that's what she's doing, and I should say protect your bank accounts.
For that account, right?
Correct.
Roughly $350,000.
Wow, look at that.
Half, yes. Of our
$350,000.
I don't remember the amount, but yeah.
And again,
You know that it was in the hundreds of thousands.
exactly. And she's allowed to do that because they're married. But that's the thing. If your wife is breaking up with you, technically, let's say you're broke up. But I mean, she's still entitled to half the money. But she's just, let's say she took it all. Left you high and dry. This is why, if your wife's having an affair, they're going to do this shit.
I really don't remember the amount, sir.
Is it that insignificant of a sum to you that you don't remember?
Insignificant sum. I'm saying I can't attest to the amount that was there.
See, she's enjoying this.
I'm going to tone it down. You were unhappy in the marriage, right?
That's why I got divorced, yes.
And it happens. Marriages fall apart, right?
Leading question, yeah.
But you complained constantly about it, didn't you?
Yes.
No, I don't think I complained
See?
constantly.
See,
To
that
anyone that would listen.
she knows she did. And her boyfriend the boyfriend at the time, after, anyway, he said she did complain about the marriage all the time. She was talking about it all the time. Absolutely.
No, that's not true.
You agree with me that you complained to the one person that would actually do something about it.
I don't understand what you're asking.
Your big brother, Charles Adelson, you complained to him about how bad Professor Markel was and how much you hated him but didn't want to be in a marriage with him.
I
Yep.
definitely talked
That's
to my brother
facts.
about how unhappy I was.
That's
in my marriage.
facts.
If that's the question, then yes. Is that the question?
Yes, that is a question. You talked to your brother, Charles Adelson, about how bad your marriage was.
I did, yes.
Let's talk about it. Government asked you about Charles Adelson. He's an intelligent guy, right?
He was smart.
He's both book smart and street smart, right?
I would say so.
You would say that he's a talker.
He does like to talk.
He's got the gift of gab, so to speak.
I wouldn't say he's the gift of gab, but he does talk.
He knows what to say in the moment.
I wouldn't say that's true either.
You would say, though, that he is. Now, you were asked questions about, drug purchasing and stuff like that. You'd agree with me that he's also street smart.
I think he has common sense.
Once again, reframing of the
And
argument.
he lives life to a certain extent on both sides of the track. During the day, he's doing periodontal work, whatever that is, crowns, root canals, whatever that is. He's doing that during the day. At night, he's out with friends, he's buying drugs. He's living life on both sides of the track.
I don't know about that he's out buying drugs.
Now, let's talk for a second about WhatsApp. And as an aside here for a second, the government asked you the question if
Once again, this is a teachable moment. Your girl shouldn't be using WhatsApp. Okay, this is indicative. I know people do, but be careful. This is indicative of affairs or hiding information. They know what They act like they don't. She's gonna play dumb, but WhatsApp, marriage killer.
used WhatsApp.
Along with Instagram,
You
Facebook.
remember that?
I remember them asking me, yes.
On the day that Professor Markel was killed, you went in for the interview, right?
I talked to the police.
And you also gave them your phone for them to inspect.
Absolutely.
So the determination of what, if any, WhatsApp was being used, they would have from the download they did that day of your phone.
Sure.
Now, would you be surprised to learn that your brother used WhatsApp?
No.
You would agree with me that WhatsApp, and you explained it well, is end-to-end encryption.
Correct.
Hides
In your lay
messages.
opinion, if you can explain to the jurors, just in case they don't know, what that means.
I know that it's something we use at my work because essentially it has the ability to.
And this is what women do very well. She's playing, acting all innocent.
I also know that nothing's actually private and that anyone who wants to can uncode the messages. So that's what we tell people at our work.
So the thought is with WhatsApp, if I use my phone, if I call somebody, the call to be listened to, if I text somebody, it's recordable, right?
I think so.
But with WhatsApp, you can send messages or have phone calls where there's no record of it.
I don't think that's true. I think there is still a record of it.
But the belief and the thought I'll withdraw that question. Your lay understanding, though, is that the footprint that it leaves
It's smaller.
is much
Yes.
less than that of normal communications.
I think it's different, but I think it still leaves a digital footprint that's easily reached.
Now, see what? That's not. And again, she knows what he asked. He said smaller. She said it still leaves a footprint. See how she's changing it? Again, this is how women will argue. Reframing arguments. Watch it if you ever have. You don't argue with women, but watch it when you do argue with women. Watch for reframes. Watch for gaslighting. Watch
If
for
you were
dominance.
What that message to Ms. Kaplan, it would show that a message was sent, but it would be hard to get what the content of the message is.
Yes,
That's
that's
true.
true. No, it is true. He
Let's
knows.
talk about your brother's jokes now. You don't deny that he joked about hiring him.
He did.
You don't deny that he repeated this joke.
He did.
And he made this joke right before a hitman murdered Professor Marquette.
I don't know that to be true.
Okay. He made the joke right before, and I'll leave out the hitman part. Professor Marquette was killed.
He made the joke the morning that I talked to him.
Can you think of one person in this world that would actually hire two people to go kill Professor Marquette other than your family?
No.
Ms. Adelson, please answer. Please address me and answer the
It
question.
calls for an unbelievable amount of speculation. I mean, I'm responsible for coming up with, that's the prosecutor's duty, to figure out who's responsible.
You just said a moment ago that you disagree that hitman killed Professor Marquette. That's what you said, right? So my question to you is, if you're able to say, well, it wasn't hitman, then who? Tell this jury. Who in this planet wanted to kill Professor Marquette?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get into that.
She knows.
But I want to make sure that's clear. This joke is made right before Professor Marquette was murdered, right?
The joke was made many times.
It was made right before.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that's why you don't argue with women, because you don't have, he's in a court of law, so he can repeat himself, the judge can, but you see how she's not answering the question he's asking on purpose. So when you argue with a woman, she's going to purposely dodge things that she knows you want her to do. This is why it's futile.
Professor Marquette.
And this is respect of women, because women are so good at this. They're good at communication. So this is respect of women's ability to communicate and argue. I'm not going hard on women.
Yes or no?
Yes.
July 18, 2014, you're interviewed, and you make a statement saying, I knew this would happen. You said that, right?
I did.
Now I want to talk about your knowledge and your belief on this. You're a smart person, right?
How am I supposed to answer that?
Well, let's go through your resume. You went to Brandeis University, right?
I did.
You graduated magna cum laude.
That's
Okay.
4.0
Explain
grade
to the
point.
jury what that means.
It means I studied a lot and got good grades.
It means, and to speak, I'm from the Northeast. My Boston accent may give it away. It means you're wicked smart, right?
That's
You
very
got a high GPA, a very high GPA.
Yep,
I work hard.
You also went and you got a master's degree from the University of Cambridge.
that's a good
Okay.
school in
You were
English,
eight
like a
star.
Harvard.
I was.
You then go to the University of Miami School of Law, which is a top tier law school,
Yep.
tier 1, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Right? We're talking about your level of intelligence. You went to the University of Miami Law School,
I
right?
did, yes.
You also clerked at the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, right?
I did.
Now, to get a clerkship out of law school, it's a very difficult thing to do, right?
It's challenging.
You have to have top grades.
you gotta
You
be
have to go
sexy.
through a rigorous selection process, right?
Yes.
You then become a professor at the Florida State University College of Law, right?
Yes.
You're also a published author. Right.
Now you're just embarrassing me.
Why are you embarrassed that you're a published author?
I don't like talking about myself.
Is it because the book that you wrote discredited Tallahassee and spoke ill of it?
The book did not discredit Tallahassee. It wasn't about Tallahassee.
Yeah,
Let's stay on topic and ask a question again with everything that we just went through. You're a smart woman, right?
I am a smart woman.
There's information.
she knows he's leading him down. She knows that they lead you down a road to where he's gonna come back and whack.
This case everywhere. You'd agree with me on that, right?
I've been advised by my lawyer not to read it.
All right. Now, we're not talking about reading stuff. There's podcasts,
Also not to listen.
TV shows,
Also not to watch.
articles.
Don't read.
And so you've made the decision. Now, you're a lawyer yourself too, right?
I am.
And you made the decision, I'm not going to look at any of this stuff.
Correct.
I don't want to know what happened to the father of my 2 children.
Not, I don't want to know what happened.
How can you say you love those boys if you don't care who killed the father that they loved?
Of course I care who killed the father that they loved.
Then why won't you look at the stuff?
I've been advised not to.
Are you afraid that when you look at it, you're going to realize that your brother did this?
I am not afraid of that.
Now, of course, you've, and we won't get into privileged communications, but you've spoken to your lawyer about the case.
How are we not getting into privileged communications? Yes, I've spoken to my lawyer about the case.
You're very intelligent. You had one of the top defense attorneys in the country, former federal prosecutor John Lohr, right there in the blue suit, right?
He is my attorney.
You're telling me with all of this at your disposal, your intelligence, his experience, and all this information, that you don't care to find out who it is that killed Professor Markell?
This is not that I don't care to find out. My job is to take care of those boys, and that is what I do. I don't see how it helps
Reframe.
to go reading and watching and soaking up all of the horrible information that's out there.
You don't realize that you could be helpful in finally untangling this to give this jury the truth about what happened to Professor
I
Markell?
have been nothing but helpful since this started.
That's not
So
true.
what happened to their son? By you looking at it, you are at the center of all this, but you won't look at anything to help in the process.
I've done nothing but help in this process.
You came here and testified.
I came here and testified. I
You
spoke to
had-
the police for 6 hours without anyone present. I signed over my cell phone, my car, my house, everything, my computer. What else do I have or know that you haven't seen?
You came here because you were subpoenaed and had no choice,
Correct.
right?
This is not fun. I would not do this by choice.
You've been inconvenienced.
I've not been inconvenienced.
Professor Markell was shot in the head.
I'm not complaining about being here. This is my duty. I'm here.
We'll get back to you complaining about being here. Do you honestly expect this jury to believe that you haven't confronted your brother about all of this?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you did confront him?
Yes, I do expect them to believe that I did not confront my brother because I didn't.
Or maybe you don't need to because you know the truth in this case. You already know it. That he went behind your back, right?
Did not happen.
Just like he has done with past boyfriends. He's done that in the past where he's gone behind your back when you were having problems in a relationship.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. But I just wanted to show, the reframings. That was really, she was reframing the disrespect, just like, you saw the lack of remorse. The lack of empathy. When that's happened, you can tell, there was a deep, those are signs of disrespect, though. How she would take over dominance in the argument. These are things you got to practice, though, as men. Women do this naturally, just like, she wasn't, if you've been a guy where divorce papers are left on a bed, when you've been gone, he flies to New York and she leaves divorce papers on a bed, that means, first of all, she was really hating on you. She was totally checked out, but then has no remorse for doing that, So like I said, you're not going to be able to make women care when they want to divorce you. And, but that just shows level of disrespect. And there were other things going on in the marriage, that was showing disrespect. But once again, and I'll leave it there, is you got to know when you're disrespected. Look at her now. She's still not even remorseful. All right, we'll leave it there. Have a good day.